some for a giveaway.
Nice.
Hello, if you're watching.
All right.
Cool. See you in a little bit.
Yep.
Hello, if you're watching. Sorry, I'm working on my setup. And so I'm trying to find this live stream on my iPad so I can know what it looks like, and I'll show you why in a little bit. Hope you're having a good evening. We are gonna cut some plywood tonight. Yeah, I can't see the chat. I will get it up on my iPad just in case anyone's actually chatting, if I can find it. When did I post this stupid thing? There we go. No, that's the planning session. What on earth? What on earth? Oh, it's right up here at the top. Ha ha ha! What a nerd. Chief! Welcome, welcome. Tap to retry. Something is wrong with my iPad. It keeps telling me to retry stuff. Let's try this again. Why doesn't it like me? Oh, cool. That's awesome. That would be sweet. Good old Skimbleshanks. All right, so I'm obviously live because someone is chatting. It says I have 3 viewers. You know what? We're going to do the old turn it off, turn it on. Turn off the iPad. Turn it back on. There's a reason. You'll understand in a little bit why I need to view this on my iPad. So I don't know if Wendy's was saying something. Tried to buy a Baconator, and they gave me 2 fish sandwiches instead. Wish I had looked at the bag before I drove away. How's your evening going? All right, let's try to turn this back on. Oh, good, it's coming back on. So I did get the deposit for the fountain job. So I had already purchased some of the plywood. I took a chance. I knew it was like a 99% chance that would happen. But now I'm gonna be in a little bit of crunch mode. So I need to get through cutting the plywood tonight. I'm gonna have to stain everything tomorrow night rather. You know, all the while working on other jobs because I don't plan things out well. Even though I have a Monday planning session and a Friday recap session, I still don't usually plan things well. All right, is this working now? Whoa, let's turn down that volume though. That's no good. All right, let's see. Gotta let Chief hear. Yeah, I would have loved a Baconator too. Instead, I got a fish sandwich. Cool. Oh, hey, Shelly. Nice to have you here. Okay, so I can't. You know, I'm gonna have to just get the rig on and then show you in a mirror. Because what I want to do tonight is I want to take you on a point of view of cutting this plywood. I don't have a GoPro. I don't have anything that a normal YouTuber would use to accomplish this. So what I've done is I've duct taped my phone to a motorcycle helmet. So this is my thought behind it. So I'm going to, I'll have the earbuds in. I don't really need to listen to you. That's just to hold them in place. And the microphone's going to be in the motorcycle helmet with me. And then I'll be able to use the iPad to look at the chat every now and then. But hopefully this should get you a point of view of me rocking the table saw out tonight. There will be a little bit of downtime while I figure out my cut list. Let's plug this in. All right, so if you can still hear me, you should be on the little microphone. All right. Okay, trying to get set up. Let me know how it sounds. I don't know how it's going to echo here. But anyway, the thought with the helmet is it gets you near my voice while we're cutting, and the helmet at the same time, I'll have the visor down, so hopefully it should protect me from the dust. Man, man, one of the buds fell out of my ear. So, all right, let's take the helmet back off. So, one of my problems is just genetically, I've got a big head. It's not an ego thing, although there's a little bit of that too. But I got a big head, so the helmets are always big. And so, we'll be looking at a mirror soon. Don't you worry. The ruin. Okay. All right. Now I'm in, and the earbuds are in, and I'm gonna son of a beefsteak tomato. All right. This is turning out to be problematical. All right. See, the problem is I'm gonna want this microphone up because once the noise starts, I imagine that it would be loud for you. But of course, I'll try to talk softly. All right, how does that sound? And let's go find a mirror. Mirror is coming up. Oh, at the end of the stream, we will empty the water out of that and pour the bourbon and whiskey that I'm putting in there. What's popping? I don't know, unfortunately. Haha, so here's my getup. So this is how you'll be viewing me cutting stuff. Okay. This is gonna get hot and sweaty in here. All right, I'll come back and look at the chat in a little bit. So let's find the list. All right. Oof. I'm gonna have to lift this visor for now. I can't breathe. All right, let me find something to write on. I usually like a piece of lumber, piece of cardboard. This will work. Oh, we'll get some music playing later too. We'll do some more of the fun royalty-free nonsense. Thanks. My newer motorcycle helmet is like a 3/4 face, and it's Bluetooth, which I thought about just trying to use that, but since it's 3/4 face, I think it would be a lot louder. All right, anyway. All right. All right, so we got 17 pieces of 3/4 red oak there, 4x8 sheath. So we got a bunch of pieces that are 19 inches deep. And we're going to go through these numbers a couple of times, so you're going to get to see the way my brain works. All right, so 19 inches. We're going to call this wide. It's a rip. All right, we need 34 at 34 inches. That's the quantity. I'm doing this backwards. 9 at. I like to do the at sign for my quantity. That's just how I roll. 7 at 66. If you're too sloppy, it looks like, 7,066. But I know what I'm talking about. All right, so that's at 19 inches wide. Then we're going to have shelves 15 inches deep. How many shelves were we going to do? I think it's 3. No. It's 2. It's 2 per. And the shelves, of course, are going to be similar sized to that 34 and 66. So for now, we're going to assume those to be the numbers. And I'll trim them on the job to fit. Do we really want 15 inches deep? Yeah, because I'm going to add stock to the front of it. That's right. Okay. Okay, so it's going to be twice as many as those numbers. So it's going to be 18 at 34 and 14 at 66. All right. Fronts, that's drawer fronts. Okay. So again, man, I was doing it backwards that day. I don't know what was up with me. All right, and we do want the grain to flow side to side on the drawers. So 14 3/4 wide. So we need 9 at 31 3/16. We're really probably just gonna rip. We might not do all the cross cuts, but we're gonna at least rip everything tonight. If I got time and energy for cross cuts, that's fine. I've already worked today. All right, and then we need 14 at 31 and a half. All right, cool. Then we got doors. All right, so just for fun, we're gonna redo this list several times. So the doors are 15, there's 4 of them. They're 15 and 5/8 wide. And they're 30 and 3/4 tall. So that'll go in there. Okay. Now there's all this mess. All right, so all of this part of the list is going to get just ripped. So let's see what we got. We got 6 of them at that, 9 at that. Let's find our large. I always like to work from largest to smallest because that usually helps you out with your cuts at the end. So we're just going to call this rips because we're not cross-cutting it till it's on the job. So we got 1 at 10, 1 at 10 inches, 1 at 9 7/8. I'm going to look at the chat again for a second. If you guys, let me know if you can't see something I'm working on. Oh my. Where's the mirror? Good. Saw that. Heading into the grid. Yeah. Thanks, Guido. Yeah, I can't believe we did 100 subs. All right, so I will be live streaming Friday. Friday's like recap and celebration, of 100 subs. I am going to, and I haven't finalized what I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to make some very low count runs of some merch. There's probably going to be some drinkware and a t-shirt and a hat and like a tape measure or hammer or something, some sort of tool. So kind of basically, whoever of you shows up Friday, you'll find out how to contact me. But basically, all of you are going to get something if you're watching this on Friday. And then if anyone comes in after the live stream, if I have any of the stuff left over, it'll still be free, but those people I'll make pay shipping. But anyone that's there Friday, your merch will be free, including the shipping. We'll just do that so that way you live people feel special. I don't know when yet. It'll probably be like 6:30. I'm going to be out of town, so I'm taking you with me to do that. All right, where were we? 9 7/8, 9 3/4 by 1. All right, what do we got? We got some at 9. Is there a 9 1/2 though? 9 5/8. 1 at 9 5/8. And we're matching some existing shelves. That's why there's all these weird cuts that are real close to each other. And I might have to do some trimming on the job, but I'm trying to eliminate as much of that as possible. They don't enjoy the dust that I make when I'm on these job sites. All right, 2 pieces at 9. What's next? We got to have some 8s. We got an 8 1/2. Got an 8 5/8. Is my breathing annoying? I can stop breathing if you guys want. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know if it's annoying. Hopefully not. All right, so 8 5/8, and there is one of those. Then I know we had an 8 1/2, one of those. If I have to like end up cutting each of these, it's going to be so annoying. But what are you going to do? It's 2.5 hours away, so it's not like I'm going to go double check it now. All right, we did the 8 1/2, 8 3/8. There's 2 of them. Okay, 8 1/4. Yeah, I did 3/8, so 8 1/4. There's 2 of those. I'm loving it. 8 inches. There's one of those. All right, so we're getting into some 7s. So we got a 7 1/4 there. 7. 7 1/2. Okay, so 7 1/2 looks like the biggest, so 3 of those. What did I say? 7 1/4 right there, one of those. 7 1/4. There's a 7 there. Let's make sure there's no 7 1/8. There's not. So 1 at 7, 1 at 7. Yeah. It's 7. This is, again, scintillating YouTube content. Let's get in the 6s. There's a 6 1/4. There's a 6 1/2. Okay, 6 1/2 by 1. Or is it 6 1/4? 9. There we go. Now we got something consistent. 9 at 6 1/4. That's always a good feeling. Okay, is there anything smaller than 6? Okay, and then finally we've got 6 of them at 2 3/4. Those are returns probably. All right, 6 and 2 3/4. Okay, so that's all those, and so that list here is just this list consolidated. So that's why that looks like that. All right, top rails. So that's going to be 8 inches. This is also rips, but I'm just going to make a note that it's the rails. So we got 8 inches. We need 87 foot. So that would be 8 foot rips. That's 11. So 11 at 8 inches. Do I have bottom rails? Uh-oh. Do I have bottom rails? I guess not, because it's got the countertop thingy, and this will make more sense when you guys see a video of the finished product eventually. It's got the countertop and then the drawer fronts. I probably do need something down there, though. It doesn't look like I have anything accounted for that. But it's not going to be big. I would guess it's 2 inches. Crown rope top front edge, 87 foot carvings, mirror, black melamine. Don't need to worry about that tonight. Black melamine. Don't need to worry about that tonight. Let me just scroll back up here for a second. Yeah, I don't have anything for the bottom rail. I'm not going to take a chance. We're going to make it 3 inches, and I'm just stuck cutting it down later. So 11 pieces at 3 inches, and that's our bottom rail. Soothing. Ooh, nice. That's kind of fun. Maybe I'll put that on. Of course, it's probably get a copyright strike. All right, so. All right, let's come back up here. So 19 inches wide. I got 8 foot sheets. Now, I vaguely remember, so with this, sheets 4 by 8. Okay, these are 19 inches wide, 66 long. Was I going to do it? I can't remember if I was going to do it, because I could cross cut the 66. That would give me 30 inches here. And I could use that for other parts, but then that grain's going to go the wrong way. So maybe we better forget that. Let's see what I did. I got 17 sheets. So if we're doing this, unfortunately, 34 and 66, that pops us over 8 foot. So I can't get like 1 out of each. So this is basically going to be 7 rips. This is 5 rips, and I'll have a little bit extra. So 12 rips. 12 rips at 19. Our next one is here. 15 and 5/8. We got 4 of them at this. Now, I will be able to get all 4 of the, I'll be able to get all 4 of those with cutoffs from these. So we don't need to do that. So next is 15 inches wide. We're going to have the same problem here. So 14 rips and 9 rips. It's 23 rips of 15. 15 inches. Okay. 14 3/4 wide. All right, so this, oh no, even that's just a little bit too big. Barf. And that would be 68. These lousy ones are just a little too, let's see. Oh, that's the crosscut. That's crosscut. Yeah. Let me think this through. Because that cutoff's going to be 30 inches. That cutoff's going to be 28 inches. So yeah, that doesn't help. So we're ripping fresh stuff for this. Boy, there's a lot of waste involved with this. What are you going to do? All right, so these are under 32 inches. So we're going to get 3 out of each rip. So 5 and 3, that's 8. So 8 rips, 14 3/4. I know Chief is liking this math. 12 here. And then 11 at 3. We'll just put that in here. All right, Chief, now you're going to like this one. Now we're going to figure it out for sheets. So this is 6 sheets. I'm going to get 3 out of each sheet for that. So that's 8 sheets. That takes us to 14. Yeah, I totally messed up on this lumber count. So we're going to get what we can out of it, and then I'll order some more tomorrow morning. That's really annoying. I might have, man, maybe I should stop and rethink this. Like, where can I get away with stuff? Well, there's going to be some cutoffs we can use for other things. All right, so this is 3 out of each. That's another 3 sheets. So what are we up to? That's our 17. Boom. That's our 17. Now those first 6 sheets, I'm going to have 8 inches left over. So the first 6 sheets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, those are covered. That helps a little. The next one, 15 out of each sheet means there will be 1 extra rip out of those 8 sheets. Because 3 times 8 is 24. So I'll have 1 extra rip out of that, which can come out of, let's just put it here. So we're just going to put this here. So this one's taken care of. All right, and then we got 8 rips. So again, here, there's going to be 1 extra rip out of this. And that's going to be a pretty big rip. So let's see, 15, 30, 18. That's like an 18-inch rip. So that's cool. So 18 inches, I mean, that takes care of, let's do check marks instead. That takes care of those 2. We know we're getting that out of some cutoffs already. I think, or am I messing that up? I might take some liberty with this size. I might bring this a little bit smaller so that way we can get it out of one of these cuts. Although these sheets might be 97 inches. It might be 1 inch over, which would be good. Oh, I'm sure there's no Disney executive stocking this boy. All right, so that's my 17 sheets. And I know I have 17 sheets. Now I might have some other scraps of oak. Let's come back to this. Let's come back to this for a second. All right, well, let's just figure out what I'm short by then. Let's just go with that for now. So we're going to call the shorts, we're going to call it S. And the 1 will mean sheets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can at least get those 4 and maybe that one out of this. So 1 sheet short. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oof, 12. But 6 are already taken care of. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Sheet 2, sheet 2, sheet 2. We got 6 of them here. 6 times 8 is 48. So that's sheet 3. 1, 2, 3. Oof. Man, I messed this up. I wonder what I was thinking when I factored this together. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Like I say, what are you gonna do? We just gotta get this stuff done. All right, let's keep going. So sheet 3, so 1, 2, 3. Well, 6 times 9 is 45. So let's just call this one sheet 4. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's about 21. That's about half a sheet. That's about 30 inches of the sheet. Wait, 11 times 3, that's 33. Silly boy. 6 times 3, that's about 18. So actually, sheet 5, sheet 5, sheet 5, sheet 5, sheet 6. So I'm 6 sheets short. Say that 72 times fast. Uh-oh. Why isn't it moving on my iPad? Am I still alive? Am I still alive or am I frozen? But you can hear me? That's weird. Or am I looped? That is extremely strange. Man, am I gonna have to unduct tape myself? Maybe the duct tape is interacting with the screen. All right, so fine, I gotta take apart my setup. So I can see what the phone is doing. Can you still hear me? Oh, low battery, that was the problem. So I had the low battery screen show up. Well, that's annoying. We might have to rethink this. Well, maybe my experiment isn't going to work this time. Maybe you guys are just going to go on the iPad. And what's my battery like there? 71%. Yeah, that's funny. So the low battery came up, and that's what the deal was. So let's get rid of that. Let's find. Oh yeah. So I had my buddy. Thanks. Just got a haircut. Wee. So I had a young man that works with me sometimes. He did some cleaning at the shop for me today, so things are looking a little nicer than they usually are. Thank goodness. All right, so let's see. Now I have to think like a 17-year-old and figure out where he put. Oh no, I just have to think like a Chris and realize that my tripod is over here. And I think I can switch. Cool. Well, it's too late. I found it. Well, you'd have to, and I was wrong. You have to think like a 45-year-old old man. Not 45 yet. 3 more weeks. All right. So do you think, what's your opinion, chat? Do you think you want to see me working towards you, or do you think you'd rather be up behind me looking down at the table saw? Because I can make that thing pretty high. So you're either looking at the back of me or the front. The only advantage here is you get to see the table saw a little bit. 80s Epcot was the bomb. I still have a 92 annual pass if the time machine ever gets invented. Or do you like an angle like this? Looking at my back? Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. So we'll get that set up. I think I heard a car door. I think my boy Vincent might be back. Is that you, Vincenzo? Oh boy. What would the sound be at the angles? It's a good question. Well, and we can experiment every time. After I do a couple cuts, we can change it up and until we get what we want. What's up, Vincent? Here's Vincent.
How's it going, everybody watching?
His new nickname is Logo Boy because he made my little Izzo's Place.
Stuff.
All right, do me a favor. Grab the tripod and bring it over to us.
You got it.
Mwahaha. I get to command him. I am his boss. You didn't hear that?
Never.
Okay. Vincent, the chat says hi.
Beautiful.
Okay, so the only problem with the camera being back here is you might be in my where I'm grabbing plywood from. We're gonna start it here and see how it goes. Maybe someday. Send me in an application. All right, let's see if I can switch to the iPad. Oh yeah, no, I'm in the wrong account. My poor little cello channel does not have streaming capabilities. Well, that's right. If I'd actually put a video up, maybe it would.
You want to switch it to the other side of the room so you can grab the plywood and have it cast that way?
Someone talked about, or it seemed like the chat wanted to be behind me looking over my shoulder while I worked. So we'll try that first. But that's if I can figure out how to switch over to the iPad for live streaming. I thought I saw a way to do that before, but now I'm not seeing it. That is in my mind. I do need to do something like that. Let's see. Well, this isn't working. We might be stuck with the phone, which is fine. I'm gonna need to get a different holder, because this is set up for my iPad, not for my phone. Let's see. I could always duct tape it again. Oh no, that's right. We're trying to get off the phone because the power's dying. But if I'm not in the helmet, I can plug it into a battery. Hey Vincent, entertain the people for a minute. Give them a tour of the shop.
Sounds good.
Tell them what a horrible, I mean great boss.
So hello, chat. So I'll do a little tour of the shop. So we'll take you over in the back first. This is probably where the most cluttered and junk crap is. So do a little swing around. So over here we have one of the entrances. You bring around here. This is where a lot of the big projects go, big cabinets, stuff where you can't, fit it on the other table over here. So these are neat. So when me and Chris go on away jobs, we have all these things to bring with us. So we got plumbing, electrical, tiling, that kind of stuff here. So then we kind of swing back around. I got some lumber here. Fancy, nice router table over here. Some bigger DeWalt tools we put over here. And then you swing back around this way. See all of the major, lift stuff. Then you come back. This is, all the kind of craziness. So this is very cluttered, but it's, there's a method to the madness. So, we got all of our batteries and set up here, some extra batteries, tape, all that junk. Then we got a lot of, hinges. And then this hole, all, for screws and nails and stuff, or nail guns. We got pins over here. If you want to hop down, you can see all of his routers, and you got 2 nail guns, right here. Another one's flooding somewhere in the shop, and we got another router up here. Planner, circular saw. Let me swing the other way. Get this nice little cubby system. Some clamps down here, I know. All the sanding stuff. And then, what's going on?
Oh, it's probably the low battery. All right, Vincent, your tour is over.
Good stuff.
Thank you for doing that.
You're very welcome.
Maybe I'll get him a cookie for being such a good employee. Oops. All right, this is gonna be interesting.
Bank stuff?
What?
You go to your bank stuff? That's what happened to me.
Say, yeah. Okay, plug this in. In theory, we have power again. Okay, it's charging anyway. Let's turn down the screen a little bit. Can you guys still hear me? All right, is this gonna stay? No, it's gonna wanna pop out. Oh, and now the volume's lowering again. I don't know if that affects your listening. It probably doesn't affect your listening. Ones that look like Mickey Mouse. They're almost. Would you grab like a hand clamp, a spring clamp, something like that? Some sort of clamp. I love.
How big you want it?
It's a good question.
The little baby ones?
No, not super small. Good size. Let's go with the bigger one. 2 over. Yep.
Stop.
I'm sure this isn't going to hurt anything. I'm sure all of this is a great idea. We could have a contest. What will Izzo break tonight? Oh, and that volume's gone down again. Now it's gone up. All right, I think. No, okay. It's staying. I think it's staying. Can we? Nope, can't do any of that. All right, we can angle you a little though. Maybe get you up looking a little bit. Okay, falling. It's not falling. The battery says it's powered. All right, cool. The battery is raising. Oh, oh. Okay. should be able to not need to use the iPad for the chat. I can now look at the chat every once in a while. Okay.
Chris,
What's up?
I had a couple palm sander discs and a rag that I wanted to take home if you didn't mind. It's over there. Do you know where you put them?
One more time.
There's a sanding disc
Uh-huh.
and a rag that I wanted to snap.
Like tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't touch anything, I don't think. There's some right there.
Maybe I moved them. That's awesome.
There's some right there. It's possible I moved them.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
So that's $30. You knew that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, of course. Because of inflation, that's how much their sanding disc costs.
Yep, that's for sure. Hey, we should have a safety huddle before we start.
Safety, you know?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Come on over.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna have a little discussion on what we need to do to stay safe today. Now, of course, I don't have my safety guards on the table saw, but I'm just gonna be careful. We're ripping big sheets of plywood, and I shouldn't have my hand near the saw at all. So we're gonna skip that. You got eye protection?
Yes.
Okay, I've got some in the van that I'll have to go get for me. So we want eye protection, hearing protection. I will definitely be wearing it. Now, I don't make my employees wear it, so, but we'll find him some hearing protection if he wants it. If he wants to save it and not be saying, what, every other sentence like I do now. So we're gonna do gloves because, exactly, yes. Robert D has me trained quite well. We do the drinking afterwards. And we will be filling that barrel afterwards too if you stick around that long. And I don't know how long this will last. I mean, as you saw, I'm a little short on plywood, so we might get through it real fast. We'll see. Anyway, so eye protection, hearing protection. We're gonna wear gloves. If you need a pair, I got a pair in the van. Because the plywood, you know, it's real splintery. It's oak. Very interesting thing, like the tannins in the oak, even though they're beautiful in the bourbon, I can feel an oak splinter like you wouldn't believe. Like sometimes a maple or poplar splinter will go in and I won't even notice, and then later on I'll realize it's there and dig it out. But an oak splinter, I feel that immediately. It's like I'm lightly allergic to the tannins somehow. So we'll be wearing gloves with that. Besides that, obviously we got to be careful as we push the plywood through. You're mostly going to be over there catching stuff and setting it wherever I tell you as we go. You know, maybe we'll set up a couple of horses. I think that's what we should do. So why don't you set up 2 horses in front of
You got the 2 in the truck.
Yeah.
The ones, is that the one you want me to grab?
any of them, if you want to do side door of the truck. Yeah, I got 2 horses there. So, you know, as we push stuff through, we're going to be careful. When you're catching lumber, usually you don't want to pull on it, because if he tries to pull on part of the board while I'm pushing it through, there's a chance we could bind up the saw, and that's dangerous. So when you're in that position where you're catching the lumber, basically I need to finish the cut, but then he can take the lumber and put it wherever we decide, which is probably going to be right over here, maybe barely off camera. So those are some of the safety things we're going to do. Like I said, probably the only unsafe thing is I'm not going to put my guards on, but I'm just not. Sorry. Oh, Philip, I'll tell him you said hi when he comes back in. All right, so our first one's going to be 19. So, I don't like factory edges, so we're actually going to rip it through at 19 1/4 first, and then flip it over. So let's see how many that was. So we had 12 rips at 19, so we will cut 6 sheets. We'll cut 6 rips at 19 1/4 out of 6 different sheets. Then we'll flip it and we'll cut the 12 parts out of what? Out of my mind. Out of those cut in half sheets. Yeah, there you go. Something like that. Sometimes the brain don't work. Sherry Coke, nice. So that's gonna be our first cuts. Vincent, Phil Miser says hi. Phil Miser says hi.
Good stuff. I said hi.
And I think Chief and Tab set high as well. I don't know if I told you.
Very nice. High to all.
Alright, so some stuff I told them I didn't tell you yet. So, if you're like in the cutoff position for me, I don't want you to pull on stuff while I'm cutting. Your job starts after I get through the saw, and then you can move stuff.
Yep.
Chat, do you want copyright friendly? Do you want copyright friendly music playing, or are you guys chilling with whatever you got going on at your individual locations? You let me know. That's perfect, and then put one right about there. All right, so the first ones we're gonna rip. I'm gonna rip it at 19 1/4. And as they come up, you can set them on the table. And like when they come off, this one closest to you, you just take directly and set it down. This one over here, I'd like you to flip it 180 degrees, so that way everything that touched the table saw is facing this way. Does that make sense? Everything that touched the blade is facing that way.
Come around this side. I bring here.
Mm-hmm.
Come to this side. Turn 180.
And it's still going to go over there, but I just want you to turn it around.
So everything that touches the saw blade is.
It'll make sense. I think it'll make
Oh,
sense
I got
after
it.
we do the first one.
Yep, I got it.
And we could actually let 3 sheets fall before we start moving them, because this is higher than that
Yeah.
bench. All right, I'm gonna get. Do you want gloves? Do you have gloves?
I do not. I thought I did, but they might
Okay.
be my other.
Do you want
two
hearing
box.
protection?
I'm good on that one.
I got a what?
I'm good on that one.
Okay, cool.
I will take some gloves though.
Okay, I'll get the gloves and my eye protection.
Beautiful. Where do we stand music-wise?
Let me check what the chat said. I asked them what they wanted. Tell Mr. Cool put on Hearing Pro. Only if Tron Legacy was public domain. Get to work already. Good with whatever. Copyright friendly music. All right. The chat wants you wearing hearing protection, buddy.
They want me wearing hair protection?
Yep. Here's your gloves.
Good stuff.
I got a headset you can wear over your hoodie if you want. Or I could find foamy things you could shove in your ears.
I'm good with whatever.
Okay.
Marty's definitely where superstars.
What? Alright, let's get. Where'd that boombox go? Oh, I see it.
So there.
Alright, disconnect your phone from it, or turn off your Bluetooth briefly.
It is.
Oh,
It's
cool,
disconnected. Wait. Now it is.
Okay. Did you take the battery out, or were you not using this? I don't even know.
So what?
Can you slap a battery in for me? While I'm
Yeah.
finding
Sorry.
it.
I went to charge it. Good.
Cool, thank you. I appreciate all your efforts in my behalf.
Battery. Battery slapped.
Cool. All right.
What are you trying to do?
Trying to connect it. Ready to pair. There we go.
Just base. There.
You make it good. I trust you. All right, we might finally be starting to work. All right, you ready, boy?
I'm
glove.
so ready.
I almost forgot to put my gloves on. You know what? It's gonna get hot. And not because I'm taking my hoodie off. that's our 12 pieces. So I'm gonna set it for 19 now.
What do you do that? Maybe silver.
Well, I'm thinking, go ahead and, so when we cut these big ones, let's see where it lands. Because I wouldn't mind the finished cuts going over there. About here. So,
You mean the piece that we're not using go over there, and only the big ones go over here?
say that one more time.
So right now, we're having right on top and then the left flipped. Over here, you're saying you want left.
Let's go ahead and, to make our lives easier, let's set up 2 more horses.
Alright.
And we'll put the final cut ones over here. They're all over the place. Here, use these ones.
I'm guessing you need to switch them just from now on.
So, I mean, as we do these next finished cuts, they could just come over here and sit.
Oh, all of them.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because after this cut, they'll all be the same width.
Alright, cool.
How we doing, chat? You bored yet? Oh, fingers aren't working with the gloves. Oh, good. Everyone loves the smell of freshly cut wood. Well, almost everyone.
That's very funny.
That's fun. Someone's covering this. All right. Yeah.
Left this over here, and then all the other ones go there. Correct?
Set it over there. As we cut new ones, they're gonna go over there.
Yeah.
You know what? Why don't you take a few minutes to get everything over there? Oop, you okay?
Yep. Oh, I remember this.
about that fun gangster's paradise in there? That wouldn't be too hard to do. Cool. So that was our first 6 cuts. So first 6 sheets rather. So 12 rips at 19 inches. We got that. Now the sheets are actually 48 and a half wide instead of 48. So because of that, all those cutoffs are 10 inches. So we'll be able to use we'll be able to use them for some of the bigger rips that I wasn't expecting to be able to use them for. So that's probably going to help us. It's not going to solve it, but it'll help us. So next we have, and so these, I was thinking this, like stuff's always running through the head while I'm pushing plywood through. So these we're definitely going to get out of the 66-inch cutoffs. Even if I have to make the door a little smaller, no one's going to notice. And or even if I have to make this top smaller, because really the top, 66 is like the widest. It's actually a wedge-shaped top, so I'll be able to disguise if that's a little short there too. All right, so we can go on to the 15-inch. So we got 8 of them. 8 sheets, rather. 23 rips at 15. Why does that sound huge? Let's make sure I'm not messing something up. No, that's right. It's 14 rips for the 66 inchers and 9 rips for the 34 inchers. So yeah, that's 23 rips. Woohoo! All right, here we go. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna cut it at 15 1/4 first. And yeah, so far the math did play out. How you doing, Vincent? Are you leaving at 10? Yep. Okay. At 10, any of the blue wrenches, maybe if Tabitha, if you'd be willing to, if I injure myself, you can call 911. You know where I'm at. Okay, cool. Let's try to get through the 15s before you leave.
Let's do it.
Cool. Thanks, Tab. Was there a Taco Bell ad? That figures. How perfect for you, Pete. All right, so we're gonna rip them through. Let's actually move this bench over, or not the bench, but move the top over. Yeah. No, let's move the whole bench over. So grab it here. Do it. Right there. So that way when the stuff comes off, it'll be balanced pretty well.
Yep.
Baby.
All right, do it.
Oh, my sawdust bag is full. Hang on.
Let's do it after you change soda.
Ooh! Do we have a lighter here? I could do one of my very unsafe sawdust tricks that you should definitely not do at home. Let me go find a lighter.
Beautiful.
All right, let's just talk, just you and I. Don't do this at home. I highly, definitely don't say, yeah, why not? You should do it. Don't do this at home. No, Chief. It's not good. It's not good to do the crazy things a madman does. Oh, come on. Is that even showing up here? Watch the screen for me.
It's not. Yeah, they can't see it.
Ah. Oh,
Might have to do a little.
my lighter's not good enough. Could you see any of that? Nice. But yeah, so obviously the sawdust is so fine and combustible. I won't give you any of the. No, yeah, I know, attempted shenanigans. It's probably better we didn't. So when I was younger and crazier and had a lighter that I manually adjusted so the flame was a bit bigger than it should be, I could get like 8-foot fireballs. But I don't condone this, and probably, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if the big guy upstairs was looking out for me and made sure that my little fireball stunt didn't work. So don't do it at home. Plus, you probably don't have a big bag of sawdust anyway. Well, the ruin might. Okay, the sawdust is in the dumpster, which is outside in the rain. So the fireball shenanigans are done for the night.
Oh, I'll find a way.
Please, Vincent, don't do that at home.
No, doing it with any aerosol spray is so much more fun.
That's true. That's easier. The only way that segment could have been stupider is if I had said, "Hold my beer," and don't do this at home. All right, that's our first couple stuff. Hope it wasn't too boring. We're talking about the weather. I must be so boring. I'm just kidding. That's funny. Hey, Rex Robinson, good to see you. Well, I hope they do a better job than I do at fire effects. Dunkin' Donuts is wonderful. Tears in Rain. We got New York in the house. Of course, Ohio in the house. We got PA in the house. Yeah, isn't that weird? It's supposed to be warm here, too. All right, cool. Vincent, you got to go?
I do.
Why don't you get out of here? You got school tomorrow?
Yeah, I have to wake up early. I got testing and stuff.
Okay. Let's have a 3-minute interview with Vincent.
All right.
All right, Vincent. Tell him your last name, your phone number, your social security number, your mother's maiden last name.
All right. So first, the social security number. All right. Well, it was fun hanging out with you all in Izzo's place. Have a great rest of your night. Have fun with this guy. Good night.
As fun as watching me work can be, we'll try to make it entertaining.
There you go.
That's okay, Daniel. I'm so late. It's like you're on time.
See you, Chris.
Be safe driving home, please.
Will do.
Although it's warm. What's up? Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Shelly and Tab say have a good night. I'm sure other people did too.
I forgot my other stuff.
Oh, he's back.
I'm back.
He never leaves. Cool.
All right,
have fun. Did you get the router?
Yeah, that's our name I checked.
Okay, cool. Okay, and you
then,
took your guitar blank?
Yep, that one's in.
Okay, cool.
And all set. All right. I will see you.
Chat, before I keep cutting, should we play with the oak barrel and then get back to cutting? Let me see what the battery life is like. 23%. Okay, we'll unhook you. Let's go look at the barrel. Oops, I just screenshotted myself. I'll post it to the Discord. There actually is a Izzo's Place Discord. I don't know if the link's still good. All right. So we're in the... Okay, cool. So to cure this thing, they told me I had to... Here we go with the Donkey Kong pictures again. So when it came, it didn't have the spigot in it, didn't have this little plug in it. So they wanted you to fill it with water and, well, put this in, fill it with water and then put this in. You're supposed to let it sit for 5 to 7 days. Now, initially, it was doing some leaking. Oh, man. There we go. Initially, it was doing some leaking, and it says that they do that at times. And if the leaking stops before 7 days, then you're good. Like, I think that means the wood has swelled up and, you know, it's nice and tight at that point. So it seems like it stopped leaking. So we're going to drain the water, and we're going to put some whiskey in here. I got no good way to show you the sink. Let's see. Let me set this down for a second. There's got to be something I can lean it on. Okay, can you almost see the sink? Oops, side quests. Exactly, yeah, achievement unlocked. Ooh, that thing's tight in there. There we go. Hey, maybe I should try some of this water, see if it tastes oaky. That seems like a weird thing to do. Here's a shot glass I just purchased recently. It looked fun and novelty-like. Oh yeah, some dirty wood water. Tastes like water. Actually, it tastes, wow. It's got the oak. It doesn't have any alcohol, but it's got the oak taste. It was actually kind of good. You know what? I bet this would be faster. I can't remember if I bought a 2-liter or a 3-liter barrel. All right, so that actually gives me a lot of hope for this experiment, because if it made the wood taste a little oaky, I imagine it's going to make my whiskeys taste better. Nice. All right, so let's see. Break it down. Oh, it's not gonna stay. Come on, baby. Ah, what the heck. All right, we're gonna flip this around. Okay, so this is Watershed Bourbon. It's a 6-year limited release. It's pretty proofy, 126.1. I just do not like the taste. It's and it's not just that it's a high proof. Like I even mixed this with some root beer, and it just made me hate the root beer. So we're gonna need to make the change. We need to change the taste of that. Now this one, nothing really wrong with it. And actually, I'm gonna sip it one more time, just a baby sip, because we're still working. We're gonna do a little baby sip. See if this one grew on me. Try the brown stuff. It's delicious. It's perfect. We're gonna try this one more time because I really don't want to give up on the Castle and Key. Can't do this one-handed. There we go. And really, it's a rye whiskey. It's not really meant to. It's not aged like a bourbon. So the name is cool, and the distillery is awesome. It is an old distillery that's just recently been renovated and started up again. I mean, it's really just a rye whiskey. It's not terrible, but it's also not great. So what do you think, chat? Should I put it in there? Should I keep half of it? Should I wait and see if I end up liking it? But we're definitely putting that Watershed in there. I'm never going to be able to do this one-handed. Okay, cool. I'll make that link work again. I know that there's a time limit on those things. Okay, they gave me this high-tech paper funnel. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this one-handed. All right, well, I got to find somewhere for you guys to sit. Let's flip it back around. Of course, we don't want to block you with my body either. Does my fat make me look fat? Usually does. All right, can we see the barrel? We can see the barrel. If I thought that I had a clean funnel somewhere, I'd go do it, but any of my funnels are filled with oils or paints or just sawdust. But this thing should work. All right, I did tell a drinking buddy of mine I'd keep a swaller for him, just in case it's something he ends up liking. All right, any other thoughts on if we should put them both in? Yeah, try it. I like that name. I might save a little bit more, but you know what? Just for volume. Like if we only put that little bit in of the Watershed, I just think this is gonna go well. I just have a feeling. Round is a shape. I'm going to the doctor tomorrow. Meet my new general practitioner. All right, and again, we're gonna save a couple swallers for my drinking buddy. Okay. All right. So there we go. Here's my little bourbon baby. So we'll see what happens with them. I'll read the instructions. I'll keep you updated on how many weeks. So I guess, I mean, like bourbon's aged for years. Well, and I mean, even whiskeys and wines, they all have the aging process, and most of the time it's in years, not in months or days or anything. But apparently, because these barrels are so small, they age faster. That's what the manufacturer says. So we'll see. So later on, I'll go back, I'll reread this thing and see how long they recommend keeping it in there. And I think after like 2 weeks, I'm supposed to just try and see what it tastes like. That won't be a problem. All right, so I'll finish this swaller. Any questions about the about the barrel experience? That did give me hopes. I mean, it actually flavored that water. It tasted oaky. Oh, wow. 1 week out. Like she's gonna get it in 1 week, or she's 1 week since. Thanks, Chief. Have you been on a stream where I've talked about the swords? I don't know if you have, but I'll explain them anyway. After I put the bourbons in their hiding place. Oops, where's the lid? Oh, there it is. Post-op. Good. How'd she do? Did she do good? Okay, so this sword here, the taller, longer one, this I actually bought in the store that is now Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique at the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. And it's, it's not anything... Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that, Tab. Excellent. It's not anything like you couldn't do like any mock battles or anything with it. You're going to break that right away. But yeah, I totally bought that at the castle at the Magic Kingdom. And then this one I found in a flea market. And this one I think I could do some damage with if I needed to. But I just try to live my life where I don't need to do that kind of damage to anyone. And then I built the plaques that they're on in wood shop in high school. Because I've always been a sick carpenter puppy. Oh, good. That's awesome. Good. I'm glad to hear that she's responding well to that. My mother-in-law is going to do a hip thing too, I believe, sometime soon. I actually would have decided if I ever get mugged or anything, as I give them my money, I'm actually going to preach to them. I figure either they'll feel bad and not beat me up, or maybe even feel bad enough to give me my money back. And then I'll mug them. No, just kidding. All right, let's go ahead and go back to work for a little bit. That was a very small amount of bourbon. Now, as you know, we are going to hang out at some point. And if either you get sick of this or I get sick of this, we'll just start hanging out. All right, but we've got our 19 inchers, we've got our 15 inchers. So let's see what's next on the list. I know, we joke that my mother-in-law is like a cyborg. I think she's had both knees done and one hip, and so she's getting the other hip done. Don't tell my wife I told you.
The Starbucks pistachio latte will transport you to
The Starbucks pistachio latte.
flavor of pistachio.
Oh, nice. Iron Mom. Yes.
Brown berries
That's awesome.
makes today a good day.
Just make sure that she handles the freezing issue when she gets up into the stratosphere. All right, how's the sound been, kids? Oops. Not disturb. Let's turn that off. Let's people call. Well, no, let's turn do not disturb back on. What am I thinking? Oh, good. Thank you. Iron Mom, friendly neighborhood Iron Mom. All right, so we got 8 rips of 14 3/4. That's 3 sheets. That's what we got left. But oh, I missed it.
Carvana gives you control by letting you customize your down.
Oh, sounds good, Shelly. Thanks for being here.
Tens of thousands of cars online to find one within your budget, and you won't get surprised with any.
Okay, cool. All right, so 14 3/4. We got 3 sheets. So this one ended up being 18 inches wide. We've got 6 that are 10 inches wide, so that's going to help us out later. Give me a second. I'm going to go look in my bin to see if I have any other scraps. Me too, Chief. Oh, you're working at night? Oh, okay. You're gonna miss the live stream. You should just get fired from Walmart and watch the live stream anyway. I'm just looking through my bin, see what kind of scraps I got left over from other jobs. Don't mind me. Okay, because I do have some boards left over from the last job. But because I forgot to put my gloves back on right away, I've now got 2 splinters, and the oak feels oh so nice under my skin. Too bad there's not a Body Wars they can go in and get it. Yeah, you probably need the money though, Chief. So what do you do at Walmart? You stock, you cashier, you greeter? I'll be honest, my dream retirement job is being the weird Walmart greeter that sings to you as you come in. But I feel you gotta be a certain age to do that. Don't feel bad about Body Wars, cause it's like Star Tours except boring and sometimes makes you sick. But what you could do is just download a video of Body Wars and then hold your phone up in front of your face while you're on Star Tours, and then you're good. Oh, okay, cool. I can see you pushing carts. I bet you're a beast with the carts, Chief. All right, guys, so I got some decent wide boards. It's not gonna save us from buying a couple of sheets, but you know, every little bit helps, especially with how expensive materials are. Well, and I'm not the best with estimating my time, as you could probably tell after just a few weeks of watching this channel. So I kind of pad my material list a bit, and so that way it kind of makes up for some of those goofs. I enjoyed it, but it was like, because it was almost like sloshing instead of like space flight, like Star Tours. It kind of like made some people sick. I don't remember being sick, but I remember hearing people complain about it. Finding all these bits and pieces of my bin reminds me of the Princess Bride. Where did we put the wheelbarrow that we had with the albino? I think we put it on the albino. Why didn't you list that among our assets? So I should have listed these among my assets. I don't mind this song. Let's see what it is. Looks like it's a band called Miles Away. Obviously, the song is called Next to You. Really? Why don't they like it? I don't mind it. I won't say I watch it very often. I've seen it at least twice. As you wish. All right, so I don't know if you could tell. So as far as tools go, I mostly buy DeWalt, and that's mostly because I don't want to introduce another battery system if I can help it. So you'll get DeWalt guys, you'll get Makita guys, you'll get Milwaukee guys. If I had to do it over again, I might have gone Milwaukee, but I'm pretty happy with the DeWalts. There's a couple of tools that Milwaukee does better than DeWalt, but yeah, I mostly do DeWalts, and I mostly stick to that brand just to keep the batteries from being confusing. All right, so our next one, all right, is the 14 3/4. And we're gonna get 3 cuts out of each 8-foot rip. But we might be able to use, you know what, we're gonna just, because we got some funky cuts here on these ones. So I'll have to think about that. So actually we should probably use the funky cut ones, get as many of these smaller pieces out of it, save the big sheets for the longer rips. Yeah, that's what we should do. Okay. Did I miss anything there? Awesome. Oh, and I don't know if you noticed near the end of those last couple cuts, funky shots, sawdust was starting to kick up. So obviously I got a blockage somewhere, so I got to see what's going on there. So all that happened is some of the cutoffs got down here. I don't know if you saw, I unplugged the saw before I started sticking my hands in it. Try to get at them from this way. Gotta get a drill. Get in there. Come on, baby, get back in there. There we go. Okay, should be back in order. Ooh, nice. Yeah, no, I was smart enough to unplug it before I jammed my hand in there. For a change. All right, so that only gave me 5 of the 23 I'll need. We're getting 3 out of each rip. So 18. So then I only need 6 rips instead of the 8 that I originally needed. So it helps. Uh-oh, what is the wife want? Oh, she packed my lunch for tomorrow. That's so sweet of her. Thanks. Well, 5 from 23 is 18. And then every 3, then I get 18 left, so I need 3, so that's 6 rips. So that's 3 sheets. I'm always doing numbers. It should work out. We'll see. Oh, I missed Vincent already. thanks to the scraps, we got full sheet of plywood left and some bigger rips than we anticipated. So ha! No, he doesn't. So fun story about Vincent. Actually, he did get a raise. So Vincent's the one that made my Izzo's Place logo, and he's working on a website for me. So I mean, he's 17. I don't know how good the website's gonna look, but it's gonna look better than if I made it. And I'm not too super serious about it right now. So I figured, let him develop some skills. So what I did for him, because he hasn't worked with me long enough to like super improve in his carpentry skills, but he's a good worker. So I didn't give him a raise when he's like here working with me, but when he's doing computer stuff for me, stuff that I can't do, I bump him up $2 an hour when he's doing that kind of stuff. So it makes both of us happy. It gets him a raise some of the time, and it doesn't get too expensive for me. So that's how we're rolling it for now. We'll see how it goes. Poor Sap is a subcontractor, though. Anyone working with me is a subcontractor. All right, cool. So where are we at? So we got the 14 3/4. So we're on all our rips here now. So I'm just gonna kind of tear through as many as I can with whatever we got. And when we run out, it's time to relax for a minute. Forgot to cut one of them to its final width. All right, that's it for work for 2 reasons. 1, I'm out of plywood. And 2, I'm tired. I'm gonna kill the music. Oh, awesome. Hey, Amy. Thanks for being here. Oh, yeah, I can train anyone. I can train a monkey if the monkey wants to learn. You could switch. Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go back and read this. Oh, see, your guys are already way ahead of me. Someone's talking about Home Depot. All right, cool. But anyway, hey there, Amy. How you doing? Yeah, I need to talk to Jer about his music. Get his music onto my platform. And then if I ever make money, I can give him his nickel. I'll take my nickel, he'll take his nickel. Everyone will be happy. Oh, Jer is there. Woo! All right, so tonight we learned that I need to be more careful with planning out my plywood, apparently. So I think I've been analyzing it. There's nothing to do, while you're running a saw. I mean, you keep your mind on it. You don't want to cut off a finger. But I think that's exactly what I did. Is I was ignoring the grain issue, and I was including that in my factors. So if I had been able to cross-cut all those and use that for some of the parts, then I think the 17 would have worked. But that's okay. Let's see. So I was thinking I needed 6 more sheets, but let's see how we ended up. So I need 9 more at 8. And what was that? What would that be? That's a sheet and a half. So that's a sheet and a half. Then that's another half sheet. So 2 sheets. 3, 4. So 4 sheets. So with all the scraps and with a little bit of, and by working from biggest to smallest, I was able to save some of the material that I thought would be wasted. So we went from needing 6 more sheets to 4 more sheets. I will probably, the next 2 days are busy. Don't mind me, I'm not really complaining, but I went out of town last weekend, which messed up a Friday and a Monday. And that's if I didn't work on the weekend, which you people know I work on the weekend. So I lost a bunch of days there this weekend. And it's really nice things. This weekend we're going up to Peak and Peak, like things I don't want to miss. But as a owner-operator, it's hard to leave this place. So I'm gonna work hard tomorrow again. I'm gonna work part of Friday. Then, checkout time. They don't seem to give extended checkouts anymore. So checkout always seems to be at an earlier time. And by the time you've spent 3 days, parts of 3 days with your family, everyone wants to leave anyway. So I'll probably be here working Sunday night. What are you gonna do? Meow. Yeah, well. So we learned that. So I need 4 more sheets. So this plywood I bought, it's a little bit nicer. I bought it through a lumberyard. So it's a little bit nicer. It's a little more expensive, but it was convenient because I had it delivered to one place. And they put it on a trailer. And I borrowed the trailer and brought it here to the shop, unloaded it, took the trailer back. So that was nice and convenient. But for 4 sheets, and for time constraints, I will actually probably just pick it up at Menards. Menards has decent oak plywood, and it's convenient. I can just grab 4 sheets, throw it in the van, and then keep cutting. So we got 4 sheets, got a bunch of plywood to cut. Some of this needs to be cross-cut, some of it doesn't. Throw a quick sand on it. I really just sanded to 150, and then it does get that. You saw some of the ones had the stain on it already. It's a very dark stain. So I don't go crazy with the sanding for a dark stain. What else did we learn tonight? We learned Vincent works for me. We learned that I couldn't do a fireball, and that's a good thing, and neither should you. I really should put disclaimers on my videos. More disclaimers. All right, so what are we drinking tonight, everyone? And feel free to ask me anything. I'll get a chance to look at the chat. Where's my battery at? 19%. Okay, we'll leave the battery plugged into the battery charger. So, got options for you. We can do A few weeks back, we were looking at the Smoking Loon red wine. It's a Cab Sauv, so and I do have a bottle opener finally. So we can drink the Cab Sauv, or we can drink a blue martini. If anyone's close enough to the shop, feel free. If they would just take, that's funny. If they would just give it its proper representation, like the Grout Tiger could be fine. You know, you need to get rid of those Siamese stereotypes, and then everyone can stop whining about it. Any thoughts? Did you guys pick? Do you want to see a blue martini, or do you want to see a red wine? And then we'll hang out. Blue? Okay, sounds good. Okay, cool. We got a couple of votes for the blue martini. So I don't have a shaker set, so you know what? I'm gonna go get my iPad. We're gonna put one in the Amazon cart. Be right back. Anyway, I don't have a shaker set, but really a shaker set, that's for what? That's actually to put the ice in. I mean, it's to mix the stuff together, but it's also to cool down the vodka. And my vodka is in the freezer, so I guess we don't need a shaker set yet. So for all of you out there doing the gluten-free thing, this is a potato vodka, so it's gluten-free. Of course, that doesn't help my wife since it's here at the shop and she's at home. But what are you gonna do? So we're gonna smell the vermouth. We're gonna see if the vermouth is still good. I've heard it goes bad, but you know what? Let's at least mix it in something though. What do we got? Here's a tall glass. Put it in my samurai cup. Would like what? The blue martini or the gluten-free vodka? Oh, Jer, thanks for watching for a bit. Have a good night. Potato Land. I think I got a text from Amy. I think she said I'm on their giant TV. And that's just, you know, that's unfortunate for anyone. Although the mustache is in place, so that helps. Okay, like that message. Oh, funny. I'm on the TV. Oh, that's right. I did help. That was a me and Jer project. We built that TV box together. You know what? It's easier to read the chat on this. I'm gonna open this up. Oops, but then I gotta turn down the volume again. Gluten-free vodka. Yeah, so like at the local liquor store, I went to the Giant Eagle nearby. They've got a little state liquor store in there. And I only found 3 potato vodkas. And this one had the coolest looking bottle. So if you look, I'm sure your local place would have it. All right, so we got a couple ounces of vodka in there. It's liquid magic. All right, so we got some blue curacao. I don't even know what blue curacao is. Natural orange flavor. Why is it blue then? Bunch of jerks. Make it orange. I'm just kidding. Who wants an orange martini? Our blue curacao is produced in the old world De Kruper tradition. The result is a smooth, naturally delicious product. Oh, and then they give you a recipe for a blue Hawaii. I don't have any rum here at the shop. We'll have to do that sometime. I'm not much of a rum drinker. If anyone's got rum recommendations, let me know. Oh, Cincinnati, Ohio. That's kind of fun. Certified colored added. No duh. That's not natural. So for a blue Hawaii, you would do 1 ounce light rum, 1 ounce blue curacao. Curacao, curacao, I don't even know. Yeah, it's fun stuff. 1/2 ounce lemon juice, 1 ounce pineapple juice, pour over crushed ice into a tall glass. Cool. So for any of you Cleveland area people, have you ever eaten at the Samurai on Chagrin Boulevard? It's a hibachi style place. It's owned by Benihana now. It does smell so deliciously of oranges though. And we'll check our vermouth. Now, like I said, this bottle is pretty old, and I've been told that vermouth can go bad, but this hasn't smelled bad. Of course, it's not opening. But yeah, so this cup came from the Samurai. It was made in Japan. It's got no other markings on it, but one of their fancy drinks came in this years ago. I don't know if they still do a fancy drink holder like that. A drinking cup. But this originally held. Wait, let's smell it first. It doesn't smell rancid. It doesn't really smell like anything. But I mean, vermouth is a wine, and eventually wines do go bad, or at least they can. I don't see any particulates floating. We're dumping it in there. All right, so we got a little bit of vermouth, a little bit of curacao. Yeah, I don't know what the liquor laws are like in New York City. Or do you mean? Oh, you mean the hibachi? Yeah. So the neat part with the Samurai is, like, from the outside, the building looks kind of normal, like a business building. But you go in to the lobby and you go downstairs, and then it's totally themed. And Chief, for you, it would be like walking into Epcot. Like, that's how well the basement was themed. I don't know if it's still like that, but that's how it was when I was younger. And I mean, the food's typical hibachi food, and I like that stuff anyway. All right, so we're not shaking this; we are stirring it. I don't have anything to garnish it with. But yeah, there you go. There's your blue martini. That's a lot of martini. I may stay here for a little while. Yeah, that's true, unfortunately. Oof, I may stay here for a while, or I might just put this in the fridge. Feel free to ask any questions. I'll answer them as best as I can without getting anyone in trouble. So we're going to be live streaming. I mentioned this earlier, but I don't know if everyone was here. So we're going to be live streaming Friday. I'm going to be live streaming from Peak and Peak. I don't know how much of the family is going to be willing to be on a stream. Probably very few of them. Maybe only the Ruin. So I don't know if I'll be on the back deck. It also depends on the temperature. I don't know if I'll travel down to the bar. This is very good, by the way. So the vermouth doesn't seem to be skunky, and you get that orange taste. You know, vodka doesn't have a huge amount of taste as it is. Oh, cool. Thanks, Chief. And yeah, and so in my mind, when I started drinking these, you know, after I turned 21. In my mind, it was like a Star Trek drink, because you know you always saw the blue stuff when you were watching that show. If there's any Trek fans here, I'm sure some of you like Trek. But I can't remember what was blue. It was either like an Andorran wine or the Romulan ale. Probably the Romulan ale. So let's just pretend this is Romulan ale then. Have you been watching recent stuff, Chief? I started watching Picard and I didn't get into it, and it's now, I think they're on their 3rd season now. Eventually I'll go back and watch it, but I don't know, people seem to like it. I did 2 seasons of Discovery. I didn't watch the 3rd season yet, so, well, and also, you know, I let the streaming service drop, so sometime I'll have to get a free account and binge watch it for a week. I figured Tab would like Star Trek. Well, the older ones are better. Well, and that's part of it. Like, I know everyone wants to put like a modern, gritty feel to everything, and sometimes it works. But you know, life's hard enough. I want escape science fiction. I don't want to be reminded of what the world is like. So I'm a fan of the older stuff too. Right. I will say, however, I did thoroughly enjoy it. Now, it's a little on the violent side, so I can't necessarily recommend it. But but hey, we're an hour and 51 minutes or 151 minutes into this thing. Who's going to be watching this that's gonna complain at me? Battlestar Galactica, that remake was pretty good. Now some of the spin-offs were a little too violent, a little too sexy for me, but the main Battlestar remake was very good. Yeah, the Treks were fun. I did so when it was on. So I probably watched most of the Next Generation when it came out. I didn't really get into Deep Space Nine or what's the other one, or Voyager. But you know, once you have a Netflix account, you can go back and watch anything you want. So I did finally go through both of those series and thoroughly enjoyed them. The reviews have been so bad, and like the YouTube reviewers that I've watched have made such fun of it. I'm not even gonna bother. Well, it doesn't have Scooby-Doo in it, so even if it wasn't weird and quasi-offensive, then yeah, I wouldn't be wasting my time with Velma. Give me some Scooby. Yeah, they're fun. They're good fun. I used to, when I was a kid on my Commodore 64, I used to draw Starfleet ships. They usually ended up looking more like the Reliant than the Enterprise. Oh, it did have blue drinks. That's cool. Oh, nice. Oh, Firefly. That's so good. I should watch that again. So I don't know if you guys do the Miggs Byers personality tests. The Firefly reminded me. I'm an ENFP, and apparently that's what Washburn is on that show. So that's fun. Oh, Spaceballs, how can you go wrong? That, it's so good. It's so good. May the Schwartz be with you. Yeah, so Wash is awesome. And didn't he have a good mustache? I think he had a good mustache, too. Poor Wash. Oh, I'm going to have to rewatch that show again. What else have people been watching? Oh, I'm not surprised, Amy. Only one man would give me the Raz. Lone Star. What's the most recent thing that Brooks has done? I know he's still alive. He's got to be crazy old. It's weird. Like, I got the iPad open watching the chat, so it's weird seeing the delay. Like, watching myself a few seconds in the past. Or the future. Ludicrous speed, yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I can't breathe in this thing. So many good lines. My goodness. Like, what's better? Which one's better? Is Spaceballs or Young Frankenstein better? They're both comic genius. And you could even throw some, what's the other one? Shoot. It's the one with the beans and the fart scene. It's not City Slickers. My brain is... No, not Caddyshack. What's the other one? I don't know. But yeah, Young Frankenstein was genius. Spaceballs is genius. What up? That's true, yeah. Blazing Saddles. That's what I was looking for. I knew one of you would have it. Oh, man, we got 9 viewers. Supposedly, according to the interwebs. Oh, so I don't think I ever finished. So we're gonna live stream, and actually, you can let me know. Silva, how's it going, Silva? Men in Tights, yeah. Oh, that's a good one too, man. So good. And a lot of these jokes are not politically correct anymore in any of these movies, which is, oh well, it's comedy. It's comedy, people. Anyway, so we're gonna live stream Friday. We'll do the Friday recap. And we're gonna give away, because you guys got me to 100 subscribers. I can't believe you did that. It's very nice of you. I don't know how many fake accounts you made, but bless you for it. So we're gonna give away some stuff. So I told people earlier, some of you weren't here then. So if you come to the live stream, I'm going to tell you how to win some merch. I am going to probably order a couple of shirts, a couple of hats, and some drinkware. And I'll let you know Friday how you go about getting your thing. So basically, what I'm going to do is, well, all right, I'll tell you. Don't tell anyone else till Friday, but I'll tell you guys. It's just between you and me. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to announce on the live stream, like, okay, you start emailing me now, heyizu@yahoo.com, and whatever order I get the emails in, like that, the first person will get first pick of the merch, second person gets second pick, and so on. Anyone that was there for the live stream will get that. And then afterwards, if there's any merch left over, anyone that watches the video later and emails me, we'll work something out. You won't pay for the merch, but maybe you'll pay for the shipping or something. But we'll work it out. So that way the people that see it live, they get to feel special. But then I get rid of the rest of the merch and don't lose all of my money. So that's what I'm thinking. You didn't land in Sherwood Forest. Sherwood Forest landed on you. So good. So good. Man, white man can't jump. And Chief, just because you're a maniac and you're always there, I'll figure out something special for you, Chief. Yeah, just a hint of orange. Oh, Monty Python's so good. Just a hint of orange because of the blueness. Oh no, we're in our infancy. You don't have to pay for your own merch. So if anyone here likes karaoke, okay. Meeting Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money. That should have been. I wish he had done that. That'd have been great. Have you been going regularly, Amy? Yeah, sometime we'll do that. I mean, it might be too late for this weird season that we have, but yeah, sometime we'll get together with you on that. I haven't gone at all this year. Did you get to go? This will be my first time out, so it should be interesting watching me go down the hill, especially if I sip something before I go. So it used to be. Yeah, that's all it is, unfortunately. Oh, you haven't either? Okay, yeah. We haven't gone. This will be our first time. So usually, like before COVID, we would get a Saturday night pass at Peak and Peak, and then when we would do our one special weekend, technically my pass wasn't good on Friday, but they never really looked close, and I would, get a beer or a what's it called? A prosecco, or get a drink or two in me, and then go down the hill, usually in jeans and a hoodie, and no matter how cold it was, that was usually my Friday night thing. But this year I have no pass, so I'll have to decide if I want a chance getting yelled at or if I want to actually pay for a couple of days worth of snowboarding passes. Also, I don't know what shape it's in. I'll have to talk to Danny Malloy. Danny Malloy always has a pass no matter what. I'll have to see what shape the trails are in. I mean, it doesn't help that it rained today, I think, and then it's supposed to get into like the 60s tomorrow. So I'm sure the snowboarding won't be good. One year when we did our weekend, we were snowboarding in our bathing suits because it was so warm. So there was like a couple of feet of packed slush down the middle of the trails, and we were in our bathing suits and going snowboarding. It was that was quite an interesting year. Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah, it feels like that. It's kind of funny. So up at Peak and Peak. So I don't know how far from you it is, Chief. Are you closer to the city, New York City? So over on the far east or far west side of New York is where Peak and Peak is, and Clymer, I think, is the town. It's near Finley Lake, and we went up and did their summer adventure course one time, and that's kind of cool. You put on a safety harness, so that way you clip in and you can't fall very far. Oh wow, 40 minutes from the city, cool. So So I don't know if I've said this on a live stream. I've said it on at least one live stream. So I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and our world headquarters is probably right around you, Chief. I think the world headquarters is like 40 minutes an hour out of the city. So maybe if I go visit that, I'll give you a shout, and I'll hit the city with you. Where was I going with this? Oh, so adventure course. So you got a harness that you strap into, like kind of like a zip line thing. If you've ever done one of those zip lining courses, um, it's like that. And actually, even with the Peak and Peak one, you've got a little trolley, they call it, and so you lock into stuff. You climb through the obstacle course, and there's two um, brackets. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. So there's two brackets, and you can only unlock one at a time, I believe. So you always are locked in somehow. Like in order to unlock one, you have to lock the other one into something. So it was very safe. So even though I've got some height issues, like little fear of heights, I could do the adventure course, and I felt secure and was going through it. And then sometimes you would actually have to use that little trolley and like cable across to the next station. So if anyone's feeling adventurous, it is a fun course, and you end up going through the woods in between the snowboarding runs. Yeah, heights could be rough. And then a lot of the trails end with you having to lock into like a safety retractable carabiners. Thank you, perfect. Um, like normally it would be used to like as a safety device. You fall, it catches you, lowers you to the ground. But so a lot of the trails end with that, so you lock into that thing, and then you have to walk off the platform. And so that was the only spot that got me. So Amber and I were doing it, and Amber's fearless. So Amber and I were doing it, and I would make her have to go off each time. I'm like, yeah, you got to go first. I can't go first. And so she'd do it, and she'd like drop off the thing, and it would, after a foot, it catches her, lowers her to the ground. I would have to like sit on the edge of the platform and like scoot, and then finally fall off because I'm just a chicken. And then yeah, ladies first. Oh, that's true. I was being chivalrous. And then the last one, she was too tired to do one more. I had enough energy, so I did the last one, and I had to go off by myself without watching her first. That was the stupidest, hardest thing. But then because of that, they also have like a large zip line that like it goes in two parts, and that's neat too. So it's longer and faster than the little stuff you did. So we did that the next day, and or maybe we did that the same day. I think we did that the same day. So we did that one, and that one also you can either walk down the spiral stair or you can lock into the thing and jump off the thing. And for whatever reason, that last one, finally I was like, click, jump, and I did it. And for some reason, Amber, that one got her for some reason. So it was really weird switching our fears at the end of that larger zip line. But that's really fun if that's something you're into. Like I would exercise more if like some of the rock wall gyms in the area were cheaper. Like if exercise was more like play. Like if exercise is exercise, I hate it. But if exercise is more like play, I could get behind that. That's true. Yeah, and you're locked in. Like it's easy to feel comfortable when you're doing the zip lining or an adventure course like that because you do have all the safety hardware. I've never done a bungee. I don't think I could do a bungee. I did at Cedar Point. Did the old ripcord. That was fun. And I remember, I think the first time I did it, I was with two dudes, and we and some of my locals will know him, Joe Calori and Rich Briggs. The three of us, we went on the ripcord, and I was the one that had to pull the cord, and so immediately as we're like getting dragged up, I just start swearing because I'm terrified, and I hate to say that, but yeah, I just start swearing. I'm terrified, and so we get to the top, and we like kind of stop, and I finally stopped swearing, and the guy shouts like 3, 2, 1, and I try to pull the thing, and it doesn't go, and he shouts 3, 2, 1 again, so I pop it, and my arm froze. Like I popped it out and we released, and I was so scared my arm stayed out, and that made us like off balance, and we ended up spinning through the whole thing. It was super fun. Like once you're falling, it's super fun, but like just getting dragged up, man, that's just terrifying. Doing my 7-minute daily workout. Yeah, I need to just do better, and I just need to do better, do something. I mean, fortunately, like if I was like a computer salesman, I'd probably be 400 pounds. But fortunately, since I am so active with my work, that's been keeping me under 200. Thank goodness. So what is that? I'll have to check it out. Svelte. Svelte. I would try to teach you again. It would be my pleasure. I have the patience of a rock. We should try that again, Amy. It's never too late to learn. You know, even though you're 85. Just kidding. And, you know, unless you're dedicated to it, I just feel like the fitness clubs are a scam. I joined one and I was rock solid with it for 3 weeks, and then probably went back 2 more times during my 2-year subscription that I had to pay for monthly. So stupid. Yeah, so I probably will never join a gym again, but I should probably at least jump on my. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it is better than just jogging. Cutting plywood was okay. I didn't have enough plywood. That was dumb, but we cut as much plywood as we could. We're having a blue martini. It's good to see you back, Guido. And Guido, did you hear the plan for the giveaway? Were you here earlier? I can't remember. Guido. Oh, we're at 10 viewers. Woo! I think that's the record. I don't think I've ever had 11. You missed it. Okay, so we're having a live stream. It's probably going to be 6 on Friday. I don't know where it's going to be from. And I know 2 digits, right? I don't know where it's going to be from. But sometime during the live stream, I will tell you how to win the prizes. And then even if you aren't able to see the live stream, there will probably an opportunity to get a little bit of merch, even on a rewatch. So that's all I'll say for now. So shooting for 6 o'clock on Friday. We'll see how it goes. And I don't know if I'll be on a balcony. I don't know if I'll be in the middle of a street. I don't know if I'll be at the top of a ski hill. I don't know if I'll be at a bar. I don't know yet. So we'll decide that. I will be in New York. I know that. But yeah, so go ahead and tune in, or if you can't tune in, watch the replay. And like I said, there might be still an opportunity to get some merch after that. And as far as merch goes, I'm gonna get a couple of shirts made, a couple of hats, couple of glasses, maybe a wine glass, maybe a bourbon glass, like a Glencairn, and I need to figure out either like a tape measure or a hammer. I gotta just see what's available and how cheap. That is a good song. Oh, okay, yeah. So I don't think the thought ever firmly came out. Cool. I will. So all right. So Guido's talking sick hat. Do you like a trucker hat? Do you like a fitted hat? What kind of hats do you people like? Okay, so a funny little thing I do for relaxation is I sing on a karaoke app called Smule. So if you're the kind of person that enjoys to sing in the shower, in the car, you can go on there, and my name's Izzo on Smule as well. And you like a cap? Okay, cool. Or there's always trucker hats too. So if you are ever bored and you enjoy singing, go look me up on Smule. I'm a sucker, and I pay for a VIP account so I can sing anything. So you can do your 1 week free VIP where you can sing anything. But after that's done, don't waste any money. Just tell me what you want to sing, and I'll open up the thing for you. I'll just look and see what's available easy with the hats. But yeah, so if you're ever bored, you can go in and see some of the crazy things I've seen. Cat beanie. Oh, beanie would be nice. Okay, cool. I'll look in. I'll try to get a variety. And down the road, and this was Guido's idea. Down the road, around 200 subs, we'll get like a regular line of merch. Which I'm subscribed to you now, Guido. I liked all 3 of your videos so far, so feel free to keep posting more. And I know you know Vincent, but other than that, I do not know who you are. That lady is crazy. but she is fun to sing with. Don't worry, the rest of you. She covers up the naughty bits. And she's also, let's just say she's not a traditionally attractive woman, but she has a good spirit. Oh, all right. Awesome, Tyler. How you doing? Haha, he's revealed himself. Now the internet will eat him up. Cool. Thanks for joining, Tyler. That's awesome. So who's watching Bad Batch? I got my wife caught up. I got her caught up through Clone Wars, Bad Batch Season 1, and we are finally caught up where we're watching Bad Batch Season 2 together. But she hasn't seen Rebels yet, so we're working on Rebels. I never watched Resistance. I don't know if it's any good or not. And of course, The Mandalorian's coming out in a couple weeks too. Oh, well, let's spoil it for you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. I know I watched it, but I probably wouldn't be able to remember enough of it to spoil it anyway. I remember I liked it. Yeah, Bad Batch has been pretty good. It feels like it's just a continuation of Clone Wars. Okay, good to know. Good to know. I was kind of going to skip it anyway. Like, unfortunately, those poor sequels, like, those characters had such potential, and just Disney, the execs, failed to give anyone any leeway to write a cohesive story. And so Finn just became comic relief when he could have been a super cool character. Poe was like your new Han Solo. He could have been good, but they just didn't have a good plan. Well, the internet will spoil anything for you, too. If you pay any attention to Twitter or YouTube and you're not careful, everything will get spoiled. Cool. Yeah, The Mandalorian has probably been the most loved of everything so far. Andor was good. And, well, and the fact that they early on, so behind the scenes, she had some interview, like, they talked about making her a Kenobi, which could have been cool. She also could have been Han and Leia's kid, like a twin to Kylo. That would have been cool. That would have upset everyone that wanted to see them get together. Even being a Palpatine was cool, but you needed to have the plan in place the whole way. That's how a trilogy works, people. You don't just have... Well, they started out with 3 different directors, and they ended up with 2. You don't just have 2 directors not talking to each other and writing stuff. So silly. So yeah, so it's sad. So I mean, I enjoy those characters. I didn't enjoy the stories, like the story progression. I didn't like what they did with Luke. So what they should have done. Yeah. Well, and it could have all just been cloning too, but like some people, even as ugly as Palpatine was by the time he was dark-sided, women love power, so like he could have probably had his pick of a bunch of Coruscant women. Yeah, they wanted to bring Ian McDermott back in and like try to get the fans all on board, just have Palpatine back. And it could have been cool, but just didn't do it. They just didn't do it right. It was all over the place. So what they should have done, so they kind of like brought in and killed all the old characters. So I know it would have taken some deep faking, and I know the internet would have made fun of the special effects, but they should have come in and had the original people like do a 7, 8, and 9, like have Luke being the powerful Jedi Master we know he is, have something come in and like threaten his Jedi Order. And like 7, 8, and 9 should have been about our 3 original heroes again, and should have introduced like a very young Rey, or seen like stormtrooper, like young kids getting captured and turned into stormtroopers by the First Order. Like you needed to build those stories up, and then you could have had 10, 11, 12 be the trilogy we got, except better written. That would have been awesome. Godfather 3. I think I told this story on a live stream, but I borrowed The Godfather from the library, and The Godfather has enough in it. Like the book has a lot of 1 and 2 in it. Like there's nothing from 3 in it, obviously. But the book smelled like the last person that read it was smoking a cigar and drinking some whiskey. Like that's what the book actually smelled like, and it actually was a really good experience. It was amazing to like be reading this book and having those weird scents come out. I know that sounds crazy, but it was a very interesting experience reading that book from the library. And sadly enough, now I basically read everything with audiobooks. Yeah, I know it seemed perfect, like reading it that way. And yeah, basically all my reading these days is audiobooks, sadly enough. But anyone ever do Asimov? I was on an Asimov kick for almost 2 years. Like all the robot movies, The Empire, The Foundation. I love the way Asimov's brain works. That was quite a bit of martini. I'm gonna stay here for a little while. I don't know. I'll keep this thing playing as long as you guys aren't bored. So some of my other fun drink paraphernalia. So I bought this to go with the mezcal. What are you gonna try? So I bought this to go with my mezcal. So it's like it's a nut, some sort of nut. You probably don't know Chief. Me and Chief know each other because we're in a Disney fan club. So it's half of a nut. It's been scooped out, boiled, dried, and then hand painted, obviously. And because it's porous, like as you use it, it's supposed to kind of adopt the qualities of what you drink out of it. And so I'm gonna mostly be drinking my mezcal out of, which if you haven't tried, mezcal is kind of like tequila, but it's got a heavy smoke flavor to it. And my sister, she is kind of doing like almost like a missionary work in Mexico, going down there helping a local congregation out, and helps them out, but it also helps her out. It like gives her a good feeling to go down there and do that. And so she's brought back several mezcals from Mexico, and so the one she gave me is aged, and when I sipped it the first time, the smoke tasted like I was drinking tequila in the middle of a burnt out library. It was the weirdest taste, but I loved it. And I guess not. I mean, I guess it's not for everyone. Like the weird smoky taste. But yeah, that's the impression I got. Is like, this library burned down, and I'm drinking in the middle of it. It was very interesting. But yeah, I have a. So I've talked about this on other live streams. I am gonna hopefully in the next month or two get like my office cleaned out here, get the shop better organized. Like Vincent's been helping me out a lot with that, and he would do better if I was actually here for the cleaning days. Yes. Maybe that's why I like it, because it's like the Smelitzer in Epcot. But I am gonna eventually like build a bar here in the office. Oh, cool, awesome. Oh, cool, nice. Yeah, she's the happiest I've seen her in years, like doing her little thing. So I'm so glad for her. But yeah, eventually I want to build a little bar here. So like when we have Izzo's place, instead of looking at a fire extinguisher and a toaster and a microwave, like you'll hopefully see like a nice little back bar. And I do have at least one person that is. I do at least have one person that's agreed to be interviewed, and I bet the Ruin will too. I bet the Ruin will be interviewed on my live stream. He might be willing to be on the live stream Friday. We'll see. But I do want to interview some of my local contractors, and we'll come with someone like Carney's got that Carney Avenger. Like we'll come up with a Izzo drink at some point. Maybe we'll use the mezcal and figure out some weird library name for it. But Danny Malloy's agreed to be interviewed. Hopefully in the next few weeks on one of my live streams, I'll interview Danny. We'll give you some of his background and some of his carpentry antics. I think the fella that shares the shop with me, the HVAC guy, Brad, I think I could get him on here. Brad's also a Disney fan, so we can have some weird conversations that Chief would like. What else? And the Ruin, I'm sure the Ruin. Okay, you love interviews. Okay, good, because I want to make this so I don't know. To me, it's interesting to see like a like that's why I do the 2 live streams each week at least, like the planning live stream and then the recap live stream. And I just think that's interesting to me. Maybe it would help someone else like that's trying to do their own business. I don't know. So I think the interviews could be important too and interesting and give us some Oh, that's cool. Oh. All right, so I won't try to scramble and get your dad on here too, but having your if I had your dad and Dan on the same interview, oh, that's cool. Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome. I've never been to your cabin. I know we always were trying. Someday I'll come visit your cabin. Someday we have to have you out to Amber's house in the woods. We definitely need to. So I'm hoping that soon my new schedule will kick in where I'm not doing work. I actually do want to oh cool. That's awesome. I stayed in I don't know if it was a cabin. I don't know if the cabin is the same thing as the trailers. I only once stayed at Fort Wilderness, and I think it wasn't a cabin, and it was this crazy. Amy knows my grandma, so it was the only time we took my grandma Hazel to Disney World with us, and only time. And so the trip started out. We pull up to grandma's house, and we would always drive when we'd do the Florida trips. We'd always drive. We would take the minivan, we'd pull the middle seat out, we'd like put blankets down in the middle. So you'd have seating when you were awake, but like we could all oh I know, I miss her. Um yeah, the Polly's so wonderful. But yeah, so we'd have this like weird blankety thing in the middle. So Fort Wilderness, that's the campground down in Walt Disney World. Yeah, Connie was crazy. Seeing those two together was rich. Um, Fort Wilderness is a campground down there in Walt Disney World, and so I don't know these days. There's nothing cheap about Disney anymore, but I don't know if it's a cheaper way to see the park, but it is very interesting, and I know they've got tent campsites. They've got places you can pull your RV into. They've got cabins you can rent. It's like a little off the beaten path. It's got a neat restaurant that I've never been to that I'll go to someday. Hoop-de-doo. It is a neat little place, but it's been a long time since I've been there. Is Fort Wilderness man? It just depends on what you like. Like so Fort Wilderness. So some people like think of Disney as like fake. Like oh, it's so fake. Like I don't know. I like fake when I'm on vacation. But so I don't know if you like hardcore camping, then hardcore camping's probably better. You can go to Hocking Hills. That's pretty sweet. Like go get a cabin or stay in a teepee there. I stayed in a teepee in Hocking Hills. That was great. But if you're the kind of person that likes the theme park, you like that kind of canned entertainment. Fort Wilderness is great. Yes, I'm hoping it loses just enough money to make it cheaper for me. I am actually going to try to go in September. I'm working with a travel agent and just seeing if I do want to go before it's completely ruined because it sounds fun. And I will. I've already gotten permission from the wife. Like, if we go, I can grow the mustache back, even though it'll be in the summer, because I'm totally dressing as a white Lando Calrissian. Hopefully, that's not offensive to anyone. And so, gonna do the cape, gonna have the smile, gonna strut around. I know it would be so cool to do that. Yeah, every review is great. So, but I'm going at the end of April to see the Cardi crew. So, I don't know how much money I'll have saved up by then. But yeah, the Star Wars thing, going for a couple of nights. Like, man, they need to just bring that price point down just a little, and that thing would sell out again. Like, I know they sold it out for a couple of months, maybe 6 months. I know they haven't been able to lately. But yeah, if they brought that price down just a little, or had a coupon day, like Jurassic Park wanted, have a coupon day. That would be great. Little carny magic, little liquid magic. What were we talking about? I don't even know. Oh, so I'll go back to the Grandma Hazel trip. So my grandma, she was from Rhode Island, so she had this awesome accent, and she was just like a no nonsense woman. Just told you how it was, and so we pull up in our minivan, all set to travel down to Florida to take her to Disney, and she walks up to the passenger seat where my mom's sitting. She's like, okay, I'm sitting there. So she kicks my mom out of the passenger seat and takes over. And that was just the theme of the trip. Yes. No, they didn't. And man, and she dropped my dad's camcorder, and I just, I was young. Like I think my brain has blocked out a lot of memories from when I was younger. Like fortunately, not any of the good ones, or like the really good ones are there. Like the really bad ones are all gone. And that trip must not have been great because I don't remember much of that trip. All I know is that hearing the tales of horror after the trip. Oh, that woman was incredible, and she liked me. Like she seemed to like her male relatives better than her female relatives. So her boys were everything to her. And so since I was one of the boys, I was everything. And my sisters, she ignored them pretty much. She was a wild woman. She was a wild woman. She just told you like it is. I actually, man, like a little bit of alcohol. Now I'm talking about Grandma Hazel. You guys are going to give me a cry. But I am actually glad she died right before COVID because she would have been the biggest pain in the butt during that shutdown. Oh my goodness. Like, I'm actually glad she's resting. Didn't see the pandemic. God bless you, Grandma Hazel. Spitfire, yep. Yep. She was a beautiful woman when she was young, too. I'll have to find a picture sometime, show you guys. Oh, darn you guys. Just an old fart and getting emotional. Nope. No, it wasn't. And like on some of our older folks, it was terrible. Like, so my grandma died. She passed before the COVID, so she didn't have to deal with any of the masks or vaccines or any of that. But yeah, it was hard. It was hard. And it's so sad. They politicized everything. It's like just it's a disease. Let's get through this, people. But they had to politicize everything. That's just insane. I didn't mean for this to go into like a weird COVID dead grandma rant. That was kind of weird. Oh well. Yeah, I'm gonna be here at the shop for a little while. Good thing Amber doesn't care. I will. However, I do whenever I'm working late. I do roughly every hour. Oh, I'll have to text her on the iPad. I do let the wife know that I'm still alive. Aw, Jerry, that's fine. Oh, good night, she said. When did she say good night? 11:30? Wow, it's almost midnight. It's almost tomorrow, guys. Alright, so I won't text her back because she's asleep. But I'll text her when I leave here regardless. Water up, buddy. Yeah, I will. There's some water. There's a water stand. Well, but I think someone drank that. I'll go get my root beer from Wendy's. I will tell her hi, thank you. She's asleep right now, though. I'll tell her tomorrow. Let's see, what else? Is there anything else? Any news? Any good news? I had to get the brakes done on the van. That was annoying. Good night, Amy. Thank you. I agree with that. She deserves a gold star. We were actually talking about it when I became an awesome husband and was less of a pain in the butt. And she thinks it was when she had Lyme disease. Like, I stepped up and took care of her during Lyme disease, and I've tried not to slide back into any old weird habits. Because that could be a pain in the butt. So, a little thing about me. Let's tell you a little bit more about me. So let's get deep into the Izzo. So I am bipolar. I'm not diagnosed bipolar, but I am definitely a bipolar kind of individual. So early in our marriage, she had to deal with that. I had to deal with that. That's not fun. And I got to a point where, so like if this is my up and down with my bipolar, I got to the point where the down was my new up, and I was like here. And so, I'm kind of a chicken. I've never done any therapy, like, and stuff. And I've heard good things about having a therapist, and I'm just still not ready. But so I went to the doctor, and I got some antidepressants. I was on the Wellbutrin. Tab knows this story. I was on the Wellbutrin, and that worked for like a year and a half. And then I took myself off it cold turkey, which I've since heard is not good. Oh, cool. And knowing what you have helps. you know, you can deal with it then. But yeah, took myself cold turkey off of Wellbutrin, which I've heard is not good. Now I didn't get any of the hallucinations or anything, but you know, I just reverted to old bipolar ways, and so I thought I was dealing good. Amber has a different story about that. But my mom found a study online where people were taking omega-3s, vitamin E, vitamin C, and they were having strong results, sometimes as strong as like a person that's on lithium. So I took a chance, and yep, and that's awesome. That's good that you know who to reach out to. That's awesome. And you can, and you know what, honestly, throw yourself in the Discord, throw an email to me. I'm always open to listening to whatever you guys need to talk about. But she found that study, and so I started taking it. And it was a boatload of omega-3s. It was like, with the omega-3s, one way you can take it is in pill form. You can do fish oil. You can do flaxseed oil. So I started out with the fish oil, and it was a boatload. It was like 10,000 milligrams of omega-3s, 400 EU of vitamin E, and 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. And so with the fish oil, I would burp and I would taste fish. I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. So fortunately, they have the flaxseed, and that works for me really well. But that works for me. Now, it doesn't work for everyone, and it's more like if you're more of a depressed, anxious person, it might not necessarily work. For me, for the bipolar, it works very well, but it doesn't work for everyone. But for me, it works. If it's something, I mean, it might, and they're all natural, so it might be worth trying it. If it works for you, great. But it might not. You know, I can't guarantee any results. But I've been taking that. So the Wellbutrin was starting to wear off after a year and a half. Like, it was losing its effectiveness. I probably would have had to up the dosage to keep it working. But with this natural stuff, since it does work for my body, I've been taking it for over a decade. And it works. It doesn't lose its effectiveness. A few years ago at this point, I had run out of vitamin E, and my OCD wasn't letting me take the rest of the vitamins since I didn't have the vitamin E, and I forgot to buy some, and I forgot to tell Amber that I was out. So consequently, 2 weeks later, I start turning into bipolar Chris again, and Amber's like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "I am out of vitamin E," and so it was really neat to. It was really neat in a way to see that, okay, I'm still dealing with this, but this solution is still working for me. So if you can find a natural solution somehow, that's great. Now, I'm not saying to cancel your meds. I'm definitely not saying that. Work with your doctors, work with your therapists, like, get the right course for you. But it's just something that worked for me. If you try it, it might work for you. It could be. No, we probably should have. Like, yeah, I'm constantly with the so, and well, the interesting thing then with the omega-3s is I was able to dial that down. So at first, I'm taking 10,000 milligrams of that, and so it's like 6 or 7 like horse-sized pills of omega-3. Yeah, awareness is definitely the most important part. Well, and a lot of us crazy people, we fall into the trap of, oh, we feel better now, I'll stop taking my meds. And that's not the way it works, unfortunately. We got to keep taking our meds. But yeah, so fortunately that worked for me, and I was able to scale down how much omega-3 I was taking. It used to be like 6 or 7 big pills of omega-3. I've gotten it down where I take 2 like 1,400 milligram capsules with the vitamin E and the vitamin C, and that keeps me sane. Yeah, probably should. We probably should buy a omega-3 vitamin E, vitamin C company. But yeah, so we're all crazy people. We're all crazy. Just admit it and find the way that works for you that deals with it, and try not to have illicit drugs or over drinking and alcohol be the solution. It might seem like the solution. It's probably not. But hey, what am I? I'm just an idiot on YouTube. That's funny. I'm an idiot on YouTube. That's so weird. Yeah, and the community helps. The community helps a lot. Yeah, definitely, Chief. Thanks, The Ruin. I will see you Friday, buddy. yeah, community helps. You know, if you get into the religion can help. You know, like finding your maker, finding your God. Good morning, Guido. Oh, is it morning? 12:01, buddy. All of you should be in bed. What's going out? I still got blue. I'm stuck here for a little while, but that's okay. I've been stuck at worse places. I do have some paperwork I should do. $196 minutes. How long is that even? Is it like 2.5 hours? I don't even know. I haven't been on it yet, so you've been on it. Oh well, with Guido's Avatar? Yeah, absolutely. I haven't been on that, Chief. I need to be out there. So if things go well, I'm trying to hit the Star Cruiser late in September. And one way that I'm thinking about nice. One way I'm thinking about. So one way you can do the Star Cruiser is you can get the captain's cabin and that sleeps 8. But I'm wondering if so obviously that's going to be the most expensive cabins. But if you're dividing it by 8 people, how expensive can it be, right? So I'm working with a travel agent and trying to find out some of those numbers. So I might need suckers that want to go on the Star Cruiser. So I'll keep you informed in case I need some patsies to go on the Star Cruiser, and I'll let you know like how cheap we can make it, because I obviously want to do it, but I want to be as cheap as possible. Right, and you'll have to put up with me farting and stuff, but how bad can that be if you get to be at the Star Cruiser? Like, I got to do lightsaber training. I had to smell Chris's farts, but I got to do lightsaber training. It should all work out. But yeah, so hoping to somehow squeak out the Star Cruiser this summer. We're going on a family Italy trip next year, but I would love to hit Disneyland at some point. And so one of the projects that's way on the back burner is I've got a crappy little Harbor Freight trailer, and I was thinking of doing, like, trying to convert it into a teardrop camper. And then I want to go on a road trip. I would like the road trip to end up at Disneyland, see the original place, pretend I walk where Walt was walking. We'll see. But I mean, unfortunately, I have big dreams and not enough time and energy to do the dreams, but we'll see. Well, we'll keep the dreams alive. The dreams never die. They just don't always get work done. Yeah, Tokyo would be awesome. Well, and that's the funny part. So I know it all depends on what we can afford. Like, it's hard to afford stuff. But big dreams, I would love to go to Tokyo. It's funny, like, all the places where there's a Disney is all places that Amber would be interested in going to anyway. So I know she would love to go to Japan. I can go to Tokyo Disney World, Disneyland. I know she would love to try to do a Euro trip. There's Disneyland Paris. so like a big jerk, I'm gonna try to get to those. That would be incredible, and I'm hoping that at the very least, once Nintendo World opens in Orlando, which I don't remember when that's supposed to open. I don't know if that's 25 or 26, but at least there's going to be a Nintendo World for us to check out in Orlando. At least that's close. But I know they're working on one, or is it open? I can't remember if it's open already. Like, the California one might be open already. The Japan one's way open. Yeah, and that's the neat part. If you can get out to Japan, like, all the old rides that are that have been closed here in America, a lot of those rides are still open in both Universal and Disney parks out in Japan. Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. Well, that was fun. So, like, the lumber we just were cutting, the plywood we were cutting up today, that was for the fount job. So I'm hoping that they do well, because if they do well, I should be making cabinets for 5 or 6 of their stores in the next 2 years. And if I could get it to the point where I'm working for Our Lady, working for Fount, and doing YouTube, if I can get it to the point where that's my 3 jobs, that's a pretty cool life. I don't know. We'll see. that's the thing, is I do want to. Well, and plus the wife is not going to want to spend time at Disney with me. So I do want to see, like, it would be super cool to see Paris, to see the Eiffel Tower. Oh my goodness, to see Tokyo, to see any of Japan, would be incredible. It'd be super neat to see all these things. I wouldn't, it'd be super fun to go to Australia. You know, all these dreams. You know, I don't know. Reach for the stars. Maybe you grab a nice apple. But we'll see. And now we have YouTube, so even if you can't make it to places, we can watch everything now, which is a little bit sad. I know, world tour with Epcot. Why not? Oh, there you go. Well, and that's good. You know what? I'll tell you what. So we went to Italy in 2017, and